Okay, cool. Let's do this video. So this is going to be a fast one. And what I mean by that is I'm just going to show you a couple tips that I like to use. These tips are not for people that have been on the SP. They have already probably established what they do, their workflow, etc. All right, good. I have some drums loaded in, kick, snare, hat. I usually put like a low hat, medium hat, high hat, and then an open hat, right? These are set up on choke groups. So if you go shift and number 8, which is mute groups rather, I should say, then you can put them on mute and just put these 4 on. They're already set up on there for me. So I'm going to use the step sequencer, and my goal here is to show you exactly how you can get a quick start on your drums so that you don't have to... So especially if you struggle with drumming, the drumming part of it, your timing and all that, of course, practice makes perfect. You have to practice a lot to get the timing. But let's just say you want to get in and build a quick pattern. You don't want to be like taking all day to do that. So hit pattern select. And I always work correspondent with the same bank I'm on. So if I'm on bank A, my patterns are going to be for bank A on that. I never use all the other patterns, you know, in a program or a project rather. All right, so we're on pattern A. So I'll hit record, and then I'll hit select the tempo you want. So let's just do 70. We'll just do 74. We'll do 2 bars, that's fine, to make it easy. And then we'll hit the remain button, which will set up TREC. Okay, then hit record. And then you'll see it going across. So the velocity is here. So you just adjust your velocity, what you want, but depending on what you're going to do. So what I will do is I'll go in, hold sub, and select the snare first. Okay. I'm going to put the snare low like that. And I'll put the snare on the 5 and the 13. Okay. Same thing over here, 5 and 13. Okay. That's my snares. So then what I'll do is I'll go sub and I'll do the kicks, and I always put the kicks on the 1. Okay. And then I'll put the, hit sub. I'll do my hats. I'll put my low hats, maybe down to 25, and put them here on the 1, 5, 9, 13s. Okay. And then I'll mix it up. I'll do medium, maybe the medium here. Right. Maybe the 3, 7, 11. Flip back here, 3, 7, 11. And then I'll put the 15 will be the hi-hat. When I say high, I just mean higher velocity. See? Then I want to put the open hat. So the open hat's going to go on right after the second snare. So it's going to go on the 7. But because it chokes out the other one, we'll put it on this 7. We're going to have to erase the other one. All right, so I don't think it'll play. Okay, never mind, it did play. It choked out the other medium hat. So let's go here. We'll just take that one off. There you go. Okay, so that's your basic start. So I'll start with that. Then I might go in and say, okay, I'm going to go pattern edit, click this one, press the menu, and then duplicate. Now I have 4 bars. And it's the same pattern. And then what you could do is, all right, you go back into it, record, same pattern that you're already on. Hit record again. Remove the open hat on this one. And then plug in like a medium hat. I think about 25. There you go. So that way you only have the open hat happening in the first bar. So this is real basic. Now, you could do your hats. So there's a couple things you could do. You could use this as a start if you want, or you could just do your hats without, do your snares and your kicks, your main kicks, and then come back and do the ghost kicks as well as the hats separately if you want to play the hats to get the feel. So I can drum a real basic rhythm just together. So if I go back here, I could, wait. But the problem is then all my rhythms start sounding the same. And when I want to mix it up, it gets kind of, because I'm not a drummer, right? That's pretty obvious to know. But so what you can do is do this as a starting point. And then come back and add those ghost notes, ghost kicks in. All right, so now I'm going to do that. So I'm going to hit pattern select. Here's the pattern. I'm going to hit record here, but I'm going to take it off of TRX. So I'm going to hit the remain button. Now I'm in real time, and I'm going to leave the quantize off because you need to play these in now, the next ones. All right, so you just fill it out as the track's going through and add them where you want them. So let's do this. Give you a count in. Oop. Sorry, my light failed. That was weird. So there you go. If you made a mistake, just erase it. You can do shift and pattern select will undo whatever you have the steps. Up to 16 steps. I think that's 16 steps. No, that's not 16. Whatever the notches are here, you can follow them, the patterns. That sounds okay. So there you go. So that's a simple way to make a drum beat. And it didn't require a lot of me drumming. And it sounds pretty good. I mean, the swing could be a little bit better, I guess. You can use the motion now and record the motion in if you want to do that. When you go back into record and you hit in real time. Oops. Record there. So if you go into pattern select, it should be a, let's see, how do you do it? Motion erase, motion on. I haven't used motion in so long now, I forgot. Okay, but I'll get that one on the next one. I won't worry about it right now. But the motion allows you to use it up here, actually. And you basically can make it sound like it's swinging if you want to do that. Personally, I would just rather go in and play the hi-hats. But at least put your snares in there if you're having trouble with your timing. That'll help you. At least put the snare and the kick on the ones of each bar. And if you put that in, everything else you can kind of do. So I'll show you that real quick. If you hit delete, you can just erase all this good stuff, right? We'll erase that. We'll leave the kicks in there since just for the sake of time. All right, so hit record. Okay, so before we do that, you'll see. So we erased all the kicks or the hats. So now hit record, hit that. Record again and we'll play it. Mess up, shift. Okay, if you mess up and you want to delete that, pattern edit, click here, hold delete down, delete all, press all the pads you want, and then press the encoder in. Pretty simple. Then go back and re-record if you want to do it again. Give you a count in. Of course, I missed the counting, right? It's okay, I'll catch it here. And the great thing is, should you want to do this, there is now quantize after. So you could go pattern edit, click on here. And then if you go, it's over here. It's the second, not that one. Sorry, it's this one. I mean, it's right here. Here, record edit. And then it'll put the quantize up. And you could do a 16 quantize and tell it which strength you want. And then if you hit it, it'll ask you which ones you want to quantize. So let's say I just want to quantize that one. Right, but I don't want to quantize the kicks. The snares are already, because we did it on a, we set it. So I'm just going to quantize this one note and see what it does. Can't undo it. It's not bad. So you might quantize one of your hats, but maybe not the other ones. So give you some realism, some humanization in there. And if you feel like it's good loose, then leave it loose. It's cool. So you got some ideas, some tips now on ways you could record in and get it done quicker without spending a ton of time on the drums. If you want to practice, that's obviously the best thing. Nobody should ever tell you don't practice. That's what you should do. But for the sake of, if you want to actually get a drum going faster, you can use that. Punch in at least your kicks on the ones of each bar, and then punch in the 5 and the 13 for your snares. There is a way to nudge a snare off a little bit, but it requires using the sub step or the shuffle. And that's another thing. You can put the shuffle on if you want the swing, and you'll get the swing in there with it too. So. All right, cool. That's all I got for you today. Just a couple little tips on using the SP, getting your drums done quicker. And as always, keep practicing. And yeah, until the next one, I'm out.